down
Okay.
and over, and they have a basket here.
We're busy.
You busy?
Okay.
We're over under on the golf tour. Okay. We'll call the order the May 11th, 2017 Woodland Park Planning Commission meeting. Have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Beginning with Jeff Watson.
Here.
Ken Hartsfield.
Here.
Vicki Good. Here. Jerry Penley.
Here.
Peter Scanlon.
Here.
Charles Schrader.
Here.
And for the record, John DeVoe, Alan Carrick, and Steve Standard are absent today.
And we have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of minutes. Anybody have any objections to the minutes last week or last month? No. Looking for a motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I just, it was moved by Charles Schrader and seconded by Jerry? Oh, seconded by Peter, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start the public hearing. Let me read into the record the case that we're hearing tonight. Sub 17001, a minor subdivision of 3.43 acres or 2 lots, lots 1R and 2R, Foster's Addition, filing number 1, into 3 lots, lots 1 to 3, Foster's Addition, filing number 2, in the Community Commercial District as requested by Waters Construction Company, Incorporated, property owner and applicant. Anybody have any interest in these properties or
I do have a piece of property in the Foster Addition subdivision, and I just wanted to disclose that information.
Okay, staff's presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the subdivision, minor subdivision for Foster's Addition, filing number 2. It is the final plat application for subdivision file number 17001, a minor subdivision of 0.343 acres. It takes 2 lots and makes it into 3 lots, so we're creating 1 additional new lot, and it makes the other 2 lots smaller. As the chairman commented, we are in the Community Commercial Zone District, and the applicant is here tonight. Waters Construction Company, Inc. is the business. He's also the property owner, Mr. Dean Waters, and he is available to speak if there are any questions of the applicant after staff's presentation. Today is the May 11, 2017 Planning Commission public hearing on this case, and it is scheduled to go before council on May 18th, which is next week, for their public hearing. So just a very brief overview. The site is located in the downtown area. Here you can see Highway 24 curving around, and then Highway 67 going north. It is in the central area of the city of Woodland Park. This is an aerial photo that shows you the 4 lots here of the original subdivision that Dean Waters subdivided a couple of years ago in 2015. And he's taking these 2 lots, 1R and 2R, and making them into 3 lots. So currently these are approximately 7,200 square foot lots, and the revised subdivision, as you can see on the plat, produces lots that are approximately 5,000 square feet in size. This particular slide shows you not only the existing conditions surrounding the site, but also some of the uses that you are seeing. So to the south, you're seeing 2 single-family residences. To the west, you're seeing commercial development, including a vacant lot that is potential for commercial development. But you're seeing Jimmy John's here, the physical therapy shop there, the Forest Service office here. Here is the right-of-way for Grace Avenue, and this is a good slide because it shows that it exists as the right-of-way, but it has not been developed. And as a matter of fact, K&K Tree Service does use this to access their site, but they have an access off of Baldwin Street. This is Baldwin to the east. This is Boundary going north-south here, and this is Grace Ave just to the north of the site. This is a pretty busy map, but it shows the zoning. The site that we are concerned with are these two lots right here, and the community commercial zone is shown in this fuchsia color. This is the high school. Public, semi-public land is the zoning there, and then this is the highway right here, and the light blue is the central business district. So that you can see that this site, although he's proposing residential uses, is essentially in a commercial area. This is the Main Street boundary. You can see that this site is, although commercial, outside of the Main Street area, and it is within the Downtown Development Authority, which is between these dashed red lines. Here are some air photos or some on-site photos showing some of the topography and vegetation of the site. It is a fairly flat site. This is on the corner of the site. This is the lot 2R looking north down Boundary Street, and you can see into the existing site. And for the most part, it's fairly flat with some vegetation adjacent to the street and the electrical provision overhead. This is again an oblique aerial showing some of the configuration on the lot, some of the existing vegetation, the entrance into the Grace Street right-of-way. What it does show quite clearly is that there are portions of sidewalk, curb and gutter built all around. So you can see sidewalk and curb and gutter along Grace on both sides here, along Boundary, along the Jimmy John's. There's a portion of sidewalk along the Forest Service, and then there is some detached sidewalk along this portion of Boundary. There is no sidewalk or curb and gutter along the site. There is a ditch that has been dug, and that is what suffices for drainage on this particular site. The applicant has submitted a final plat that was drawn by a surveyor. This shows you the as-platted configuration of lots 1R and 2R. This was the original 4-lot subdivision that was done. He is taking these two lots, which is approximately 0.343 acres, and creating 3 lots. So each of these lots, it shows you the square footage. They are smaller than what you're seeing in the neighborhood, but not unusually small. So staff received this application and did a full referral and sent out public notices to adjacent property owners within 150 feet of the site. We also put a notice in the Pikes Peak Courier, and we posted the property with signs. Referrals were sent out to the Public Works Department, the Utilities Department, and the Parks and Recreation and Finance Department within the city. We also sent it to outside agencies such as IREA, Northeast Teller County Fire Protection District, Black Hills Energy, CenturyLink, and TDS Cable. We did receive responses from all of those highlighted in red: the Public Works Department, the Utilities and Parks and Recreation Department, and IREA. And their comments have been incorporated into the staff report that was distributed to all of you. So staff has complied with the public notice requirements and any referral requirements and comments submitted by these agencies. In reviewing an application for a subdivision such as this, we did look at section 1724, which is the final plat standards, and section 1740, which is the design standards for a subdivision. So section 1724 starts with general information, the form that the plat has to take, which staff has reviewed and believes that the submitted document does comply. Staff does have some recommendations for some specific additions to some plat notes that you see in the conditions. Section 1740.010 delineates the purpose of the final plat requirements. Staff does believe it's a well-designed one-lot subdivision with adequate access, provision of services, and parks, fees in lieu, of land dedication. With respect to site consideration, staff does believe that this proposed plat is suitable for development with adequate services adjacent to the proposed lots, and that the grading, erosion, drainage, and utility connections will all be adequately addressed with the zoning development permit application, which will be coming in for each specific lot as a house goes up. But as as far as the plating is concerned, it is possible, and there is opportunity for adequate grading, erosion, drainage, and utility connections. There is adequate frontage on Boundary Street. The access for all 3 lots will be off of Boundary Street, and the applicant has provided for adequate easements for the provision of all services. All lots are buildable, and there is adequate provision that the applicant has made for lot coverage for a potential building single-family residence on each site. So staff does believe that the applicant does comply with all of the subdivision standards, and does recommend approval to council of the Foster's Edition filing number 2 as submitted, and we do have 5 conditions, 4 of which are inclusions of a plat note for future land use changes or future ownership changes, and then a witness block that was not quite correct. So each of the plat notes, I'm just going to spend a minute on each. We're adding a plat note where new, expanding, or remodeled commercial or multifamily development is proposed. At that point is when you add sidewalks, curb and gutter along the property boundaries for all public streets. So again, the applicant is proposing 3 single-family residences, 1 on each lot, but because it's a residential development, we don't require that they build the sidewalk or curb and gutter at this time, so Boundary Street would not change, neither would Grace, because they're not accessing off of Grace Avenue for this particular subdivision. But if that should change, because it is zoned commercial, if there is a new owner that comes in and purchases any one of these lots and decides to make part of it or all of it into a commercial use, at that point, then we would be looking at curb and gutter and sidewalk along the boundary. And then plat note number 2 is where there's any development that accesses off of Grace Street. That is when we would require that the improvement to Grace Street occur. Plat note number 3 here is that pursuant to the municipal code, there is maximum site coverage. In this case, based on lot sizes, it's somewhere between 40 and 50%. We've just asked that this be a plat note so that future landowners know that there is a maximum site coverage on this particular, on each lot, so that it's quite clear. And then we've also included a plat note that all trees within the Grace Avenue right-of-way, because there are a few there that are fairly well established, should be retained, shall be retained and protected until such time as Grace Avenue is improved. So that when the applicant is developing all those 3 lots, especially the one closest to Grace Avenue, that he makes an effort to protect those trees at this time. And then we're just asking for a witness block on the bottom of the acknowledgement statement. It was omitted. That concludes staff's report. Mr. Dean Waters, who is the applicant and the property owner, is here if you have any questions of the applicant.
Mr. Waters, do you care to make a presentation?
I think Laura about covered everything, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Anybody have any
Our
questions?
proposal is to build 3, like she said, 3 small houses on each of the lots. 1,100 square foot house, single car garage, 2-story house, so that's what our plan is.
Any questions? Okay, no questions. We'll open it for public comment.
Come on, people.
Since there's no public comment, we'll close public comment. Any final questions from the applicant?
Yeah, question, just, for the zoning, what are the setback requirements for the residents?
It's the same, it's the zone district, the CC zone district requirements, and
Okay.
I think I gave them on page 2. On page 1, actually, surrounding zoning and land uses. So a maximum height of 35 feet for the height of the structure. Minimum front and rear is 25 feet, and 8 feet for side setbacks.
Okay, thank you.
Laura, would you briefly explain the fees in lieu of parkland? That one caught me by surprise. I don't think I've seen that before. If I have, I missed it. Just a brief overview of that concept, please.
Certainly. So with any subdivision application, we refer the application over to the Parks and Recreation Department. They look at it and have the purview and the jurisdiction to ask for land dedication. So usually, when you're thinking like a 100-lot subdivision or something like that, then there has to be a land dedication for public parks. When you're looking at a 1-lot subdivision, even actually with a 100-lot subdivision, we have the opportunity to ask for fees in lieu. And fees in lieu is based on each new residential unit that you're providing. So this went to Parks and Rec, the Parks and Rec Board, and let me just grab the memo real quick here. So it went to Parks and Rec on April 12th, and they looked at the subdivision, and they determined that 3 residential units, there was an opportunity here for 3 residential units, and they are looking at each unit creating a fees in lieu amount of $1,754. So for 3 units, they're looking at a total capital fee of $5,262. So that money then goes into a line item that is dedicated for parks, capital
Okay.
fee.
That's sort of the point of my question.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then also at the ZDP, at the zoning development permit process, we get a parks fee, depending on the number of bedrooms in each unit. And that goes towards parks as well.
Any other questions? Deliberation? Looking for a motion?
I'll move that for approval of SUB 17-001, minor subdivision of the 0.343 acres into 2 lots into 3.
With the
With the,
conditions?
with the conditions staff has recommended, yes.
Second. We have a second.
And that was Jerry, right? Oh, sorry.
Take credit. Don't we get
He's here.
bonuses or something?
Who's lip spoon? Yeah. All right, so roll call. We will start with Vicki Good,
Yes.
Jerry Penland,
Yes.
Peter Scanlon,
Yes.
Charles Schrader,
Yes.
and Jeff Watson.
Yes.
Motion. Oh,
Missed
did I
it.
miss
Can
Ken
I have
Hartsfield?
one?
I'm sorry. And Ken Hartsfield.
I made the motion, but I'd also like to vote in favor of passage.
Yeah, sorry about that. Motion passes.
Okay, that takes care of it. Okay, reports. Chairman has no reports. Do you folks have any reports? Okay. Sally?
Yes, just very brief. Wanted to remind you, we will not have a meeting on May 25th. There are no cases scheduled for that date. Next meeting possibly on June 8th, but not sure if any cases are going to come in to make that date work either. So hopefully people will have a nice Memorial Day and we'll roll into June. On your desk is our monthly report for April, which we did highlight the Natural Grocers Project, that you received your memo on that 2 weeks ago. And then lastly, I have, if you would like, a poster in honor of the Historical Preservation
that's great.
Month. Our Historical Preservation Committee produces a poster every year to help acknowledge the historic buildings that we have, and so I have posters for everybody, and you're welcome to have those.
Thank you.
That's all.
That's it. Okay. We will adjourn.